Hey, good evening. So glad to be with you. I'm Cindy Baker of Cindy Baker Coaching and creator of the 3P Power Program, which is a um, coaching program for entrepreneurs and other professionals who have ADHD symptoms, diagnosed or not. And tonight we are going to talk about um, finishing things that we start. So finishing projects that you start and how to stay focused for that. And I'm going to give you 10 tips. Um, and so, how many? Just think for a minute. How many unfinished projects do you have going right now? Because for most of us with ADHD, it's hard for us to keep like this mental to-do list. Um, I'm going to check my streaming here, make sure I'm doing what. Okay, I think you can see and hear me. Awesome. It's hard for us to keep that mental list because we forget stuff and then we remember while we're in the middle of doing something else. So we jump to the do the thing that we thought of, and so then we never go back to the original thing. And if you're watching this and you don't have ADHD, you're probably like, what? But it's our natural tendency for impulsiveness to take over. And it can be really stressful. So I am going to give you just a few tips. Um, I'm going to tell you about an event I have this weekend where you can get a lot more detail about these things, but just kind of an overview of some tips. The first one is don't try to get organized while you're under pressure. A lot of times adults that have ADHD, they'll only try new organizational and time management strategies when they feel like unbelievable pressure at work or home or maybe social situations. And it makes them feel like they have to make some kind of major change right then. But trying to organize under pressure really doesn't work. Because the thought of, if I mess this up, that keeps your brain from being creative. So you need some quiet, unpressured time to think about organizing. Um, the second is a to-do list. Write it on paper. It's hard to stay on task when you don't know what you're going to do. This is where staying on task starts. And then it's about being intentional about how you spend your time. And I do have a free live challenge this weekend that's all about ADHD friendly time management. So you want to make sure that you register for that. I'll put the link in the comments of several of these places. This is streaming, but you can't make choices about how to spend your time until you figure out absolutely positively what must get done. Otherwise, you're just going to go from task to task as soon as it pops in your head. So you want to start with a to-do list, and you want to keep a master list. Make one running list of everything that you need to accomplish. Maybe you don't have too many lists, maybe one for work and one for home. And then each day you need to make a plan. And of course, in my coaching program, I go step by step in how to do that. But your master list, it's like a buffet table. You're not going to eat everything all at once. So each day you take something off the master list and you make a daily to-do list or a today list. Just like if you have a child with ADHD, you encourage them to follow a daily checklist and to write their homework in their agenda book and things like that. And so you want to have a daily to-do list, and you want to put your top 3 priorities on there. You can do more than that, but I just always tell people to put their 3 non-negotiables. Okay, so then the next thing you need to do is prioritize your task. And so you want to choose the most important and the most urgent first, and then the second most important and urgent. Think about not just what's the most urgent. That's what we tend to default to. So you got to learn the difference between important and urgent. Important is something that carries you closer to your long-term goals. Um, Urgent tasks, they're time sensitive. Sometimes you're going to need to work on important projects that are not urgent so that you can, make progress towards your dreams. I mean, maybe you want to be healthy, and so you have to do some exercise several times a week or every day. And so it's not going to feel urgent, but if you don't do it, it's not going to move you towards your goal. And so you have to know your limits. You can't do it all, and you definitely can't do everything in one day. So knowing when to say no and delegating tasks to others, that's an important ADHD time management strategy. And this is one of the things that I really try to help people with, is how to make those decisions between what's important and what's urgent, how to make decisions in your life that line up with your values. Some things don't need to be done at all. And so you have to, ADHD people, when something comes in their head, they think they have to do it. Just because you thought of it doesn't mean you have to do it. You're going to have to make peace with the fact that you're not going to do it, and then drop it from your list. And it's okay. You don't have to have every idea on your list. That was hard for me at first, but that will free you up. But you want to pick one thing that you can accomplish without stress, like finishing the dishes, okay? And then make sure you complete it daily, that one thing. And that kind of gives you the momentum to get started on other things. And you want to do everything in your power to prevent procrastination. The number one barrier to success for people with ADHD is putting things off. It's procrastination. And there are lots of reasons why we procrastinate, but there are two reasons that are kind of the main ones, I think. One is disorganization. Okay, you just aren't clear on what to do. And the other one is just you're not interested, disinterest. You don't feel like doing it. So you got to combat those things by breaking down tasks into tiny pieces so you know where to start, and find ways to make the tasks interesting in the moment, because your brain is very reactive. And so when you make something interesting, your brain is going to want to react to that, and it's going to want to stay on that task. One of the things that I do is if a project or a task is important, I try to remind myself why that task is important. Use rewards and consequences, and you have to make that up for yourself, but it's almost like playing a little game with your brain. Maybe I know some people have tried this. Alternate shoulds and wants on your list so that you got some motivation. Don't have everything on your list be something that you don't like, but you have to get done. Put a couple of things in there that you want to do. And another tip, and I know this phrase is overused lately, but practice mindfulness. Now, don't tune me out. If you have ADHD, you're going to get distracted. You just are. And often we don't even notice that email and Facebook and Instagram, TikTok are taking up enormous amounts of time and energy. And so mindfulness is being aware of what you're doing in the present moment, and then trying to correct it if you're not on course. So maybe you keep a notebook and you jot down the time that you think each task should take, and then set a timer when you begin. And if you're not pacing well, figure out if a distraction is keeping you from your goal, and then shut it down, you know? Um, stop abandoning tasks. Um, if you leave things unfinished, ask yourself when when you notice yourself doing that, um, ask yourself why. Where did I leave off my why? Um, and start to keep track of that. So there's a lot more that we could say about this. I do want to just remind all of you that there is a free live challenge this weekend, and it's called Chaos to Control. Some of you have been through it before. It is geared for entrepreneurs, professionals, anybody, any kind of creative professional that wants to figure out how to become more productive. Okay. So, hi, Kathy. Yeah, don't text and drive. um, and I'll circle back and read these comments. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to comment on, that would be awesome. Let me know if you're watching this live or on the replay. So this challenge is, at the time I'm recording this, it is going to be March 18th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Central. That's a Saturday morning. And the second part is Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Central. And we're going to talk about how to not be rushed, how to not procrastinate, um, how to not be overcommitted. It's just all these things that tend to trip us up. So it's a great opportunity. It is absolutely free, but you do need to sign up so that you get the reminders and you're eligible for prizes. It is held in a Facebook group, so you'll get an email with a link to join that. And I will put the link to join in as many places as I can, but it's bit.ly with a dot in between the T and the L, bit.ly/chaos to control. So I hope to see you all there, and I hope you have a great week.